Well, we're looking under the hood of my 1996 Toyota 4Runner, four-wheel drive, six-cylinder. And what I'm focusing on today is I've had a high idle issue for about a year now, and I've replaced everything. I've cleaned the IAC. Well, I haven't replaced the IAC yet, and that's a couple $100. I'd rather not do that yet if I can help it. But wires, check the codes, temperature sensor, everything that everybody talks about and goes through, I've done. I've pulled out the throttle body, looked at it with a light behind it, seems to be sealing fine. Then I ran onto a help page on T4R.org that talked about a guy who had all the same issues, number of guys, and how he solved it. He noticed he had a high idle one day, so he just reached in to the throttle apparatus and pulled on it. He noticed he had a little play, just like I have a little back and forth play, maybe just a 1/16 of an inch. He pulled forward on it towards the front of the vehicle, and his idle dropped back down to normal without having to goose the gas or do anything like that. So I've had that, and there's probably 3 or 4 times when I've had high idle, and I've popped the hood and I've just pulled forward and it drops back down. So, okay. The solution that this gentleman used was to right in here, let's see if you can see that, on the other end of this post that the throttle's turning, just the butterfly valve inside here. Right at the end of that, he put a little thin washer so that it was constantly pushing out. And his idles went back to normal. He didn't have high idle. I'm going to do that on mine. It's a pretty cheap solution, and all you got to do is disassemble this part. So I've already taken the piece here, what's it called, the hot pot, ash pot, whatever it's called, 2 little Phillips screws. You pull that out. And now you're supposed to be able to get this whole apparatus off, and it's probably going to take some persuasion, so I'm going to get a channel locks, but and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, here we are. You'll notice the bolt on the end is now even instead of sticking out a 1/2 inch. What I did was I got in here and just wedged gently, sprayed a little WD-40 out here, tapped it some. I don't want to hurt it and break something, but you can see it just pushes off the end there. So we're going to take this off, right? And then we're going to get a very thin washer that we can put on this bolt here, very thin, like a 1/16 of an inch probably. And then we'll slide the apparatus back on and put it together. See what our idle does. I'm going to probably put some grease in there too, some heavy grease, just to make sure that those pieces will slide really nice and not somehow get hung up or create burrs that'll get hung up. So I don't want to throttle the stick. Alright, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so there's my new greased up washer right here. Had to widen it a little bit so it fit on. Might be too thick, I don't know. And I'll shove the assembly back on, put everything back together, torque it all, and we'll see what it looks like. Let's get a picture of that. So you can see that washer right in there. We'll see. Okay, we're back looking at the engine again. Little throttle assembly. And you can see right in there. If I can get under there. Ouch, it's hot. I just got out of the car. Right in there is the washer. So I've been driving for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. Not one instance of high idle and having to goose the gas pedal to get it down. That was the issue. That fixed it. Which means somewhere in my throttle body here, when I take it out and I look at it and hold the flashlight up behind the butterfly and I don't see any holes or anything like, or I don't see any light coming through, and everything seems to move real quick. When I mount it in the assembly, there's a sticking point in there. And that washer has brought this throttle assembly out far enough that there's no longer a sticking point. So not $150 on a new throttle body or $220 on a new IAC or anything like that. 10-cent washer, and high idle is gone. Give it a try. You don't have anything to lose. One of the things you can do is, be in your driveway where you got your high idle and you're operating at normal running temp, and then just pull this whole apparatus out and see if that affects your idle. Mine doesn't move at all now. That sucker's in there tight with that washer. All right, well, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it works well for you and you get rid of your high idle issue. I just checked my gas mileage. I'm almost a half a mile per gallon higher than I have been in the last 8 or 9 months. My driving's been the same, so it's very possible that I got a little gas mileage out of it too. All right, take care.